This video is brought to you by 3, bringing you 4G at no extra cost and some exclusive deals over at btech.com.
We have an HTC One, a Samsung Galaxy S5 and a Sony Xperia Z2. Now the Sony Xperia Z2 is an IPS panel, Super AMOLED panel for the Samsung Galaxy S5 and it's SLCD3 panel on the HTC One. As far as what you can see right now goes, off angle, the Samsung Galaxy S5 kind of nails it. It beats out the HTC One and the Sony Xperia Z2 comes last just because you can't see as much vibrancy or punch from that display, even though all three are set to full brightness. If we pull it in closer to frame though, all of that changes. Head on, the Xperia Z2 is fantastic. It's worth saying, viewing angles don't degrade in terms of integrity, the color integrity off angle. This is a much better panel than its predecessor, the Z1. It just doesn't have as strong angles as the other phones do. What you can see when we pull the HTC One into frame is the fact the Sony Xperia Z2 doesn't have quite as on-point white balance, but the colors are much punchier. Both phones pretty accurate in terms of colors, but the HTC One just kind of nails the whites a little bit more. The Sony Xperia Z2 would maybe look a little bit better for videos, etc., whereas the HTC One might look slightly better for web browsing. If we pull in the Samsung Galaxy S5, we can see that the red is much more accurate on the Sony Xperia Z2. And all in all, both deliver a huge amount of punch. The AMOLED display delivers much deeper blacks, but you've got more differentiation across color tones on the Sony Xperia Z2. Any gripes we might have with white balance on the Sony Xperia Z2 by default when compared to the HTC One though are relatively meaningless, because if we jump into the settings, we can jump into the display settings, and we can see Sony has included a white balance control, which is fantastic. So you can really customize this to exactly how your eye works. Really strong advantage that the Z2 has in terms of the display, something we wish all of the displays adopted. So all in all, it really is going to depend on what you want from your display, but we would say for off-angle viewing, the Samsung Galaxy S5 probably nails it. The HTC One default white balance just delivers a much more subdued, slightly more realistic color palette gamut, whereas the Sony Xperia Z2 is the most customizable, has the largest, most immersive display, probably make for the best screen experience in terms of movies and photos by default. Hopefully you've enjoyed our quick screen comparison between the HTC One, the Samsung Galaxy S5 and the Sony Xperia Z2. If you have any questions, ping them in the comments section below. If you like the video, click like. If you like the channel, click subscribe. Head over to btech.com. Over there you'll find the latest in smartphones, tablets, smart gadgets, not to mention some awesome deals as well.
At the top of the screen is where you can find 3 hand-picked videos for your viewing pleasure. On the left is where you can subscribe, and on the right hand side you can find some exclusive deals if you head over to btech.com.